Hi, my loves. How are we doing? All right, I'm coming in for another general reading. We know the drill. Even though it's very general, if this doesn't apply to you, sit right with you. You don't want to hear what I have to say. That is okay. However, the biggest word that is coming through is honesty. There is something to do with honesty. Okay, so I just want to see what is going on. There's something about being honest with yourself or you need to be honest about something. Okay, but let's just see what are we talking about here. What are we talking about? A judgment. And then I got the Queen of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck right here. This is clearly something with that judgment right here that you need to be honest about something. You need to speak your truth on something. It's kind of like you're being watched right now, and literally you see how he's kind of watching her and she's kind of like being timid, but in a way she's safe. You know, in this card, the both of them are very, very much safe right there. But there is something, in order to progress forward, in order to truly feel secure and, you know, stable in your environment, there is something about you need to speak your truth, or you need to be honest about something. And the time is now, is kind of what I'm getting with that judgment. You're literally being called to kind of speak up on something. The Wheel of Fortune. That's where I'm saying you're safe on it. Like literally, good luck is on your side when it does come towards this. I got a triple X right there. So something about 10 days or 10 days ago could have been significant. X marks the spot. You could literally be seeing X's, you know, right now, or 10-10. You know. But enough time has waited. I'm hearing right now you need to be honest. You need to be honest about yourself, about something. You need to speak your truth about something. What is this about? In a funny way, I'm kind of getting, you've been procrastinating on this for a long period of time. Time is now. What is this about? What does this apply to? The Knight of Wands and then the Four of Pentacles right there. That's where I'm saying there could have been some procrastination done. There is something you've been not wanting to take action on for a long period of time, you know, and with that Ace of Swords in reverse a little bit at the bottom of the deck, kind of reminds me there is, again, speak your truth about something, and they are kind of advising you to take action. We are in Mercury retrograde still right now. Use this time as an advantage to kind of, for you to have your own review period. And that's what they're saying with the judgment. They're kind of watching you. You're clearly under review right now, but it's something that needs to be done. So this is your sign of something needs to speak up. You know, you've always kind of been very guarded, or kind of been very, you know, just very closed off for a long period of time, and it's coming from a place of you're protecting yourself, but they're reminding you, you are protected. No matter what, good luck is on your side. And if it has something to do with communication, I'm hearing there is something, again, you have to speak up on. You may be the one that needs to take initiative with that Knight of Wands. I'm kind of hearing, be like Nike and just do it. And if you're not ready to take that step, you know, this is not your reading, and maybe save this and come back later when the time is right. But I'm just kind of hearing this is your time to speak up. So, for example, if it's applying to a no contact scenario with somebody and you need some form of closure or answers, especially with what I'm seeing right here, you're going to be the one that needs to take the initiative to do it. I'm hearing you, again, you've been procrastinating. There's something about procrastination, whatever it comes down to. Or, you know, and it could apply to literally anything. I'm kind of hearing, you know, maybe you've had a, you know, hard time not speaking up at, you know, a job interview or towards your boss about something. You're kind of doing that. Well, I'm just going to wait to see if they pop through. No, you're being told you got to do it. And intuitively, you already know something needs to be done. Let's confirm this judgment. What is this? Time is now. That like aligns with perfectly. Yeah, Six of Pentacles right there. I think there is a lot of fear, you know, as far as, again, I keep staring at this picture with the judgment. Again, he's kind of like glaring at her, and she's like, you see how she's blushing? She's like, I'm so scared. They're telling you, I got your back. You don't need to be scared. And I'm kind of hearing, well, what if they don't respond to me back? Or what if they don't give me the response I wanted to hear? Or they ignore me or leave me on red, or whatever the case is. Okay, again, this is Mercury retrograde season. Use this to your advantage in a lot of ways. This is your own review period. You got your answer. Being guarded all the time could sometimes be your biggest enemy. You're truly never going to grow if you don't get out of your comfort zone. And that's kind of the message I'm kind of hearing out of this. But yeah, Knight of Cups right there. Maybe for once this is a challenge of you got to take initiative. But again, I'm hearing more to do with, you know, some form of communication. You want some form of answers. You want that equal give and take back. And with that Six of Pentacles, you've always been scared to make the first move because it's like, well, what if I don't get anything in return? Okay, well, that's their job. That's Source's job or whatever you believe in. They'll give back to you, not this person. You're just seeking for some form of clarity, some form of truth, some form of response, something. Let's see what this Wheel of Fortune is about this procrastination I'm kind of hearing. Yeah, Two of Wands. You've been in a waiting period for too long. And that's where I'm saying, like, there's nothing wrong with, like, waiting and sometimes letting things flow through to you. But again, that's where the biggest message towards this collective. You're never truly going to grow if you just sit and wait because it's safe. You know, it's safe for my, you know, higher power, source, the universe, deities, whatever the case is, to figure these answers for me. No, the answers have always been within you. Sometimes that's what I'm saying. Waiting can truly be your biggest enemy because you're never growing. You're never going to grow if you sit on that tree limb and never move. It's time to do some more exploring. It's time to take that risk of rejection or not getting, or certain blockages or challenges. They're telling you you're never going to expand. So yes, take that initiative, send that text, make that call, whatever this message applies to for you, do it. Don't worry about the outcome because, again, I'm hearing I got your back no matter what. They give back to you, not a person, not that job, not that group of people. Your spirit team does. Just remember that. What's this Knight of Wands? What is something you need to take charge of? Confirm that. Yeah, Knight of Pentacles. That's what I'm saying. It's been a long time coming. Whatever it is, this has been a waiting period. There's that Knight of Swords communication. Lots of knights are popping out here. And that's kind of the energy I feel like this collective you're needing to embody. And that is okay. You don't need to be full-blown Empress, Emperor energy all the time. You don't have the answers to everything. Knights are like explorers. They're trainers. You know, they're just learning. In a funny way, it's like they're just getting out of toddler season, out of a baby season. You know, you're really expanding. Sometimes I look at my knights as teenagers. You know, you're kind of meant to do, quote, stupid things, mess up, tick off your parents, tick off your spirit team, because again, that is how you grow. But you constantly sitting back and doing that, nope, I'm just going to wait for this person or that thing to come to me because that's divine timing. You've been sitting in your comfort zone for a little too long. But what's this Four of Pentacles? Let's confirm that. Three of Wands. That's exactly what I keep saying. You cannot start your new journey if you're constantly like, it's safe just to stay like this all the time. Just saying. But let me see more information about the lot of earth and fire energy coming out of this collective. Ten of Pentacles, Ace of Cups, and then the Queen of Swords right here is your final cards. I think for this collective, in the nicest way, in the past, you've always sat on your high horse when there was rejection. You know, with that Queen of Swords, I always say she's very cutthroat. You know, it's kind of like you don't get exactly what you want. You go back to your safety net. You don't have a tendency to progress forward. Or if you do, again, I keep hearing procrastination. And that is the biggest lesson, the biggest hurdle this Mercury retrograde has presented to you. Maybe this past month has been challenging. Maybe you do feel like with the Judgment right now, that's a sign you could be forced to getting things done. There's some form of urgency where I think you've always been used to, no, I'll deal with it later. I don't want to deal with this right now. This is too much. I'll deal with it. You've been forced to deal with something, a lot of things. You've already been taking initiative, even if it's something really small and you're just not realizing it. But now you're being asked, you got to actually say, nope, I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to do it. This is your sign to be impulsive. Don't worry about the outcome. I think you want this perfect outcome in your head, and when you don't, you get it. You sit in your high horse and think, well, none of this is working out for me. Oh, yeah, justice literally right here. You're not trusting, but they're telling you, I can't, your guides are telling you, I can hold your hand, but I can't like yank you out of your house or yank you towards that phone. You got to do it. And let me lead the way from the rest on. Don't worry about the outcome. I got your back. And again, this is very general, so take it how it applies. But clearly this collective, you need to hear it. I love you guys. I hope you have a good one. And heavy Libra energy, by the way. Have a good